everyone, Heather Steves here, and today I'm going to share with you the first page in my new art journal. So this is the Elizabeth Craft Square XL Royal Blue art journal, and I embossed it with an embossing folder, and then I rubbed some Prima Old silver wax on it, and I cut a bunch of pages using the journal file XL1 and the labels, tags, and more base pages with some 49 and market paper that I had in my stash. So I'm just grabbing the first page out of this journal so that I can start working on it. And I grabbed some of my lighter brown colored ink, and I'm going to use that to edge distress all of my pages. Now, one tip that I have: when you've cut a die cut, you get a bit of a cupped edge on the back side. So I just rub my bone folder over there, and it makes it a little bit easier to ink those edges. So now that my base page is ready, I'm just going to grab a couple of dies from the torn set. So these dies are actually meant to create ATC cards, but they make great dies for cutting out photos and for matting them. So that is what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So over the years, I've had photos taken of myself just for different purposes, for work, for personal, for whatever, and I have them all sitting in a folder in my computer, and I've never done anything with them in terms of scrapbooking. So this is what I decided that I'm going to use this journal for. So my next step was to decide what color to cut the mat. So I grabbed a couple of different colors from my stash. I really thought this blue would work well because it matches the paper so nicely, but it just didn't look right with the photo. So I ended up settling on this tan, which I think looks much better. And now that that is cut out, I'm going to go ahead and again edge distress with my ink. It's not overly visible because the colors are very similar, but it definitely does make a difference if you were to see it before and after. So now I can go ahead and attach down my photo, and then I'm going to start to decide what else I'm going to do with the page. So I thought the paper was a little bit plain, so I grabbed this script from the past stamp set, and I'm going to use that to add a little bit of texture to this background page. So I have my big massive block here, which works great for these bigger stamps. You don't have to mount it onto a block. You can actually use the stamp on its own, and then it gives you more of a distressed look because you don't necessarily get that crisp image, but I decided that I wanted to use it on a block anyway. I've put this paper underneath because I don't want to get ink anywhere else, because I'm not going to just stamp right in the middle. So again, I grabbed that same ink pad, and I'm just inking that up, and I'm just going off of the page so that I get it right off of the edge there. And then I'm just going to move things around and stamp again on the other side. So this time I didn't stamp the full edge of my page. I just stamped up in that top corner there, and that's just going to give me some more interest to the page and allow me a little bit of blank space to do some other stamping. So since I have such a bright red shirt in the photo, I thought it would be nice to actually add some red to the page. So I grabbed a couple of colors, and then this darker red color seemed to match much better. So I grabbed the Journal Your Life stamp set, and I've just stamped that one down in the bottom corner. And then I grabbed a couple of other stamps from that same set, and I'm just going to play around with adding them onto my page as well. So while I do a little bit of stamping here, I'll just let you know that this photo that I have is from 2001. I had 4 photos at the beginning there that you saw, and they are from 2001, 2, 3, and 4. So they are quite old, and they were taken with an old camera. The photos are not the best quality, but they're okay. Each of them actually has the date printed on them as well. So that's going to come into play in a little while as well. I grabbed this other stamp, which is the little typewriter, so it's also from the Journal Your Life set. I just stamped that on some off-white cardstock and then die cut it and inked the edges. I thought it would be a good idea to write the date on the paper that's sticking out there. So I tested a few different pen colors, and I found a blue that I thought matched the paper really well, but it really didn't show up very clearly. So I ended up writing over top of it with some brown, which kind of created a cool little shadow effect. But in the end, I really didn't like the way that that looked. My writing was a little bit messy. So that's where this date stamp, or this date piece from the photo comes into play, and I thought I could add that onto the paper, but it didn't really look right either. But it actually looked really nice just sitting on the top corner of the photo, so that's where I ended up sticking that. And then here is where I wrote with the brown pen, but like I said, it didn't look very good at all. So I went ahead and attached my picture down and the typewriter anyway, and then was just looking at it and trying to figure out what I should do to fix that. So I ended up grabbing another stamp from the Journal Your Life set. So this is a cool little stamp that mimics a wax seal, and it has 3 different little inserts to put inside for the words. And I thought it would look really nice, and I hadn't intended to, but then I realized that it looked pretty kind of cool just sitting on top of that typewriter. And now my page is complete. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and of course have yourself a wonderful day.